Just another nigga known with the strap, man. Don't cap or your ass going cap, man. You never mix business with new friends. Get booked, then cooked by the crack, man. You gon' make a nigga slide with my jacks, man. With a pump that'll leave a nigga flat dead. Put that bitch to his shit and shoot again. Face shots, make a op do a back bend.
Now to breaking news. Carpentersville police investigating after reports of multiple people shot at a restaurant and gaming lounge overnight. Our Marissa Sulik is at the scene and joining us now with the very latest. Marissa.
Suzanne, yes, we are here outside La Illusion Restaurant and Bar. It's at the corner of Kings Road and Route 25. And you can see behind me, this is still an active police investigation. However, they are starting to wind down as we're seeing them start to board up some windows where we saw bullet holes earlier. We do have video that shows those bullet holes in the windows and glass doors. We also saw video of at least one ambulance leaving the scene. Carpentersville police are asking people to avoid the area. It's unclear how many people are hurt or possibly killed at this time. Right now, sources are just saying multiple people are hurt. We also don't know how old these possible victims may be. However, we did hear over police radio a young girl may have witnessed this event.
91, truck 91. Can you dispatch an ambulance to our location to have a 6-year-old girl checked out that will witness?
Carpentersville police also say there is no threat to the public at this time. We are still waiting for more information from them. When we get that, we will bring that to you on air and online. But for now, live in Carpentersville, Marissa Sulik, CBS News, Chicago. Suzanne.
Thanks, Marissa.
It was a scene of shattered glass and about 24 evidence markers around midnight Saturday. Carpentersville police had the entire parking lot at Route 25 and Kings Road closed off for hours. Bullet holes could be seen through the glass doors and windows of La Illusion Restaurant, Bar, and Gambling Lounge.
I raced here. It was a little crazy. I never heard my dad that shocked before.
General Manager Kevin Rialzola says his dad was inside the supermarket next door when he heard the gunshots. His dad tells me he came outside and saw a woman on the ground. Rialzola says there was a crowd of about 10 to 15 people waiting for tacos at the cart out front, including a couple.
They were both coming into the restaurant just as a couple, and he just followed them in there.
Rialzola says there is surveillance video that shows the shooter going after them.
He followed them inside the restaurant. He just went all out, to be honest. It was pretty brutal.
I'm told by the owner police got to the scene quickly and saw the shooter firing shots. That's when police fired their guns, hitting and killing him. They say 2 victims were taken to the hospital, one in stable, but the other in critical condition. Police say it's evident the people involved knew each other and it stemmed from a domestic violence situation. Business owners in the strip mall got here early to see if they could open later. Some shocked to see this took place at La Illusion.
Once they had the pictures of like the shooting, the bullets and all that, I was like, man, it's something serious. And then seeing all the police, and I checked my cameras and I saw that it was still blacked off there.
As for La Illusion, they say they are sorry for the victims, but glad their staff are all safe as they plan to close the restaurant and bar, at least for the day.
So our employees are pretty shocked. I feel really bad for them. They're a little traumatized right now.
Police say no officers were hurt and this was isolated only to the people involved. Illinois State Police are now investigating because this was an officer-involved shooting.
Carpentersville police shoot and kill a suspect while responding to a shooting that wounded 2 people. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jackie Bang. WGN's Jeremy Ross joins us live with the latest on the investigation. Jeremy.
It is business as usual in this part of town with one major exception, and that is the restaurant in the area behind us over there. You can still see a little boarded up section there. The owner telling us they are not going to be in business for at least the next few days going forward, that following a deadly shooting and ongoing police investigation.
My daughter called me. She goes, be careful, there's cops and gunshots around the area.
The unusual sounds of gunfire were equally as surprising to neighbors as the sights of the emergency response. The sequence of squads, cluster of casings, and tangle of police tape are not common here.
Then we found out some guy came and shot through the window and he shot the person, and then the cops came.
Neighbor Manny Quiroga knows firsthand. He was heading home while police were securing the crime scene. Illinois State Police say the gunfire took place just after midnight Saturday. Investigators marking where several spent bullets landed, the outside of La Illusion Restaurant and Bar, closed for business, but serving as the backdrop of an investigation. State police say when Carpentersville police arrived, they found an individual actively shooting at a person. An officer opened fire on the shooter, killing that individual. Investigators say that shooter was responsible for hitting 2 victims before police arrived. That initial gunfire described as part of an isolated domestic violence incident. The kind of conflict, crisis, and call for help you don't normally see here.
Just be careful.
What's to say about domestic violence in terms of it can happen anywhere, and obviously you probably pray and hope that the family's doing all right?
Yeah, that's all we're going to do, just hope for the best for them, that's all.
And police are telling us that no officers were injured in connection with this incident. Now, there were 2 victims involved in this. We are being told one is in critical condition, the other in stable condition. Live in Carpentersville, Jeremy Ross, WGN News.
Right now, a man under arrest in connection with a deadly shooting that happened nearly 8 years ago. He's due in court today. 28-year-old Jesus Vargas arrested by Chicago police and U.S. Marshals at O'Hare Friday. He's charged with murdering a 21-year-old man near 58th and Washtenaw in Gage Park in October of 2018. Vargas was also wanted on 2 warrants.
Overnight, Chicago police say a 21-year-old man was shot on the city's west side. We're told that the victim was driving near Monroe in California just before midnight when he heard a loud noise and felt pain. He was shot several times and drove himself to Mount Sinai Hospital and is expected to be okay. So far, police have not made any arrests.
There was a line out the door of Soloway Coffee in Lincoln Park this morning. Many did not even notice the trail of dried blood along the front and side of the building. Police radio says they got calls of shots fired along Lincoln, where there was a street party with music blasting from cars around 4 this morning.
You were getting multiple shots fired, call 645 West Belden, 3 to 4 shots, no shooter description, 20 people running from the area, and Orchard and Belden overheard 2 shots.
Chicago police say a 39-year-old woman heard shots, felt pain, and realized she was shot around 4 a.m. Alderman Timmy Knutson says she transported herself to Northwestern Memorial Hospital, where she is in critical condition after she was shot multiple times. We spoke with neighbors who say they woke up early, saw police investigating, and this area of Belden from the alley to the intersection was taped off.
Also really awful to this woman who was shot. I mean, it's kind of a nightmare.
There's like always people hanging out around like right at this intersection till like 4 a.m. like every Friday, Saturday night.
It's very scary because I'm up early with my almost 2-year-old walking around here all the time. So to hear that a woman was shot too, like I'm like 2 blocks that way.
We also learned a 25-year-old man was near the lakefront at Fullerton when police say he was shot at around 3:30 this morning. They say he was approached by 5 people he didn't know, and they took his personal belongings. No one was hurt. Alderman Timmy Knutson's office says CPD is adding additional patrols to monitor this area. They also say anyone with more information should contact Chicago Police. In Lincoln Park, Marissa Sulik, CBS News, Chicago.
Chicago police data shows that so far this year there have been 7 shootings, plus these 2 incidents in the Lincoln Park and Lakeview areas. There was a total of 12 shootings in those same areas all of last year.
Suzanne, thankfully, those 4 teenage boys are in good condition. Their ages just 12 to 14 years old. We know less than 2 hours after they were brought here to the emergency room, multiple adults were brought for gunshot wounds to an emergency room just steps away from here. We know one of those adults is in critical condition at last check. I want to show you video we have of that scene where those teenagers were shot. This is near Prairie Avenue and 45th Street. Happened just before 10 o'clock last night. Chicago police say an unknown suspect opened fire, shooting multiple people before taking off from that scene. They say as a result, a 12-year-old boy, I should say first, was shot in the leg. 2 13-year-old boys were also shot in the lower body, and then that 14-year-old had a graze wound to the back. All 4 teenage boys are in good condition, as I mentioned. And then around midnight, another shooting scene unfolding, this time on Federal Street near 45th Place. Less than a mile from the shooting we just showed you on Prairie, you can see over a dozen evidence markers at one point on the street there as officers are investigating. They tell us they found 2 women, an 18-year-old who was shot in the stomach and was brought here in critical condition, a 19-year-old woman who was also shot. She was shot in the hand. She's in good condition. Once at the hospital, police say that they found a 3rd gunshot victim connected to the scene. They say that victim, a man, is in good condition. Take a listen to what we heard from some witnesses on the scene.
While I'm in the Uber, I hear bah, 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 bang, bang, bang. But we literally just looking for a good place to have fun. Like, they damn near making it impossible with all these guns.
Suzanne, Chicago police say they do not have any additional details to share right now, only that they have not made any arrests in either of these shootings and their investigations are ongoing. Live at Comer Children's Hospital, I'm S.L. Razai, CBS News Chicago.
Chicago police say 4 children were shot. The victims are all boys and include a 12-year-old, 2 13-year-olds, and a 14-year-old. This happened near 45th and Prairie. It's not clear who fired the shots or what led up to the shooting. The victims were taken to the hospital and all are expected to be okay.
4 boys were shot about 2 hours earlier and a mile away from that first shooting. This one happened at 45th and Prairie just before 10 last night. The victims range in age from 12 to 14 years old. The boys are all okay, hospitalized in fair and good conditions. CPS just let out for the summer last week, and crisis responders say now is the time to put a stop to this kind of violence against young people.
It's a bad situation overall, and we need to do better. Somebody needs to pray with the children, somebody needs to pray with the adults. We have to do something. This is the beginning of the summer.
Police say the shooter ran from the scene. No arrests have been made.
Police are investigating 2 separate shootings. Several people were hurt, including teenagers. Joni Lum is live outside police headquarters with the very latest on that. Joni.
Dawn, 7 of the 15 people in Chicago shot overnight were under age 19. In one of those Bronzeville shootings, 4 boys were wounded. Young adults were the victims in another shooting. And the alderperson of the 3rd Ward is calling on adults to take action. A Bronzeville resident was driving home and saw young people running down the street a block from his house.
And I rolled down my window of my car and I asked them, "Hey girls, what are you guys running from?" They're like, "There's a shooting, there's a shooting." I said, "What? There's a shooting." You know, they were frantic.
Chicago police say 4 young teens were shot at 46th and Prairie at 9:39 p.m. A 12-year-old, 2 13-year-olds, and a 14-year-old, all boys, were wounded. Neighbors were enjoying this summer afternoon, surprised to hear there was gun violence on the next block near a church involving children.
But now I'm hearing it was like, 12, 13. So for me, I can only see is just like one, condolences and my heart goes out.
I feel as an educator myself, young people, that hurts more than anything. My young people, we used to have fun. We want people to go home, everybody to go home to their parents. It hurts deeply.
Less than a mile away at about midnight, shots were fired at a group of people partying near the Metro tracks in 47th Street.
Then, as I'm steady running, I heard pop, 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 pop.
I ran for their life. Like, people tripped, fell, stuff, all type of stuff.
Police say an 18-year-old female was shot in the abdomen and is in critical condition. A 19-year-old female was shot in the hand in good condition. And an adult male got himself to University of Chicago Hospital with a gunshot wound to the shoulder in good condition.
But we literally just looking for a good place to have fun. Like, they damn near making it impossible with all these guns.
3rd Ward Alderperson Pat Dowell released a statement that reads in part, "Parents must be accountable. The attention our young people seek must be found first in the home." She added, "We must hold social media companies accountable. Social media companies are enabling this behavior." And Alderperson Dow said the summer is starting off wrong. Gun violence is destroying young people and communities. Now, police have not said if these shootings were random, targeted, or related. But in a late update tonight, police say they do have a person of interest in the shooting of those 4 boys. Reporting live at police headquarters, Joni Lum, Fox Chicago.
Chicago police say just after midnight, 2 women and a man were shot near 46th and Federal. The victims were unable to provide investigators with details about what happened or who fired the shots. A witness who did not want to be identified describes what she heard.
While I'm in the Uber, I hear bah, 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 bang, bang, bang. I'm like, damn. It's all I see is police officers, whoosh, 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 ambulances, whoosh, whoosh, whoosh.
All of the victims were taken to the hospital and are expected to be okay.
Well, 2 women and a man were shot overnight on the south side. The women were found near 45th and Federal just after midnight. Both were taken to the hospital. One is in critical condition. During their investigation, police found a man who drove himself to the University of Chicago hospital with a gunshot wound to his shoulder. He and the other woman are in good condition. So far, no arrests have been made.